Hey guys, and welcome to another brand new video. In this video, we just got brand new information in regards to Microsoft. Now, as you guys probably know, Microsoft is the owner of Xbox, and Xbox is obviously a somewhat subsidiary of Microsoft. So as of right this second, Microsoft did go and give out a lot of brand new information when it comes to their financial, just quarter, and had a chance to go talk to shareholders and discuss things, and a lot of information came out for the Xbox console, and as well kind of the future of the overall company as a whole. So we're going to go mainly focus, majority of this video will be dissecting to the Xbox hardware vibe, where it actually has been going kind of bad. Right now, the Xbox hardware had a pretty big, decline, and as of right now, the percentages are massive, but, of course, Microsoft as an overall company has been kind of making up to it in different levels, so in terms of, AI and Windows and all that, but the big thing to focus on, especially for our channel, is on Xbox. So we're going to go talk about this, make sure you guys are subscribed with the notifications on, give me your thoughts and comments and everything down below. We do have the Twitter and Twitch videos if you guys want to go and follow, and let's go and dive on into the video itself. So as I mentioned, Microsoft basically just had a chance to go and do their their big financial talk, and they had a chance to go and discuss in the future how they made money and everything else in between. Going through their actual stock, it was actually down 2% on the day itself, and then after hours, once the stock market closed, it actually had really good numbers and had a 4.3% update. It was around $400, and as soon as the actual aftermarket hit, it was around $420, give or take, and we'll see how the next few days go and go. But as of right this second, it is about to get back to the $3 trillion market cap, and the company itself is doing fine. Although, as I mentioned, the overall Microsoft is doing well and has some good long-term plans, especially with Activision integration, but the Xbox console is doing rough. Saying right now the Microsoft Office and cloud revenues are once again the stars of the show. Microsoft just posted their third quarter of its 2024 fiscal financial results. The software maker made $61.9 billion in revenue and a net income of $21.9 billion during quarter three. Revenue is up 17%, and net income has also increased 20%. So the overall company itself of Microsoft, the parent company of Xbox, doing very well, but not mainly from Xbox. It's the second quarter in a row that Microsoft is including its additional revenue now from Activision Blizzard acquisition that briefly pushed gaming to be Microsoft's third largest business. This time around, gaming is back to fourth place behind Windows, thanks to a stronger than expected Windows revenue, and of course as well a bit of a taper off from Xbox. I think Xbox overall games have been doing well, so things like Game Pass, selling games, Microsoft Store, etc., while once again the hardware is rough. So we had a strong quarter for Microsoft with Office revenue and Microsoft Cloud revenue up 23% year over year. Microsoft's overall gaming revenues are only up thanks to Activision Blizzard, with Xbox hardware revenue tanking this corner alongside devices such as the Surface revenue also dropping again. This quarter, Windows OEM revenue is up 11% year over year, a surprise given Microsoft's previous guidance that it would be relatively flat. This is the price that PC manufacturers pay to license Windows for laptops and PCs, and while it suffered in 2023, it has been picking up again throughout 2024. Microsoft is now hoping to boost its Windows OEM revenues over the summer too as well with AI PCs, which that's completely different subject, where that's kind of insane. I'm assuming it's just AI integration such as ChatGPT and Bing kind of being more thrown into the computer itself. Now, I'm not necessarily sure if I like that. That's completely different ramble, but I do think the idea of AI futuristic robotics and them having even more access to your PC, mass pulling every PC user's information for AI seems very strange, but I digress. We're expecting Microsoft to unveil its own Surface devices running on Snapdragon X Plus chips on May 20th at a special AI and Surface event too as well. Very intriguing to go and see, though. Better performance, better CPU, and as well just basically more play. I'm almost imagining an integration of how we have GPUs as of right the second, or gaming cards, or they min-max when they have to. I feel like it'd almost be like that when it comes to that. So Microsoft will be relying on this push, particularly on the Surface side, and these device revenues have declined by quarter three by a massive 17%. Device revenues have been down as well for over 12 months now, despite the new launches of Surface devices, Microsoft switching it up its hardware portfolio amid layoffs. So Microsoft now has a new Windows and Surface chief too. This kind of yada yada. Microsoft is now expecting quarter four device revenue to decline again, and this is more in regards now to probably hardware. In the mid-teens, according to Microsoft CFO Amy Hood. Windows OEM revenue growth should be in the low to mid-single digits in quarter four, and the PC market volumes are expected to continue at pre-pandemic levels. Over on the Xbox and gaming side, Xbox content and services revenue. So this is probably the big bread and butter of the video. So this is Xbox Game Pass is actually up 62%. This is once again thanks to Activision Blizzard revenue making up a bulk of revenue. So it basically kind of seems like, not to be a naysayer, because this is still good overall for Microsoft, is that Microsoft's making a lot of money on other things that kind of subsidize Xbox consoles. The Xbox hardware has not been doing good, but Xbox Game Pass doing well. Microsoft Store doing well. Streaming doing well. Like, this is good stuff. You also think about, like, say, maybe games now being ported to PlayStation. They are making money on that, so Xbox, all this type of stuff is actually going up money-wise as well. So once again, thanks to Activision Blizzard 2, so now that they're factoring in, like, say, Call of Duty, Overwatch, Diablo, World of Warcraft, I've kind of been seeing World of Warcraft having a huge bump up too as well, just because I myself have even played it. So I do think at the end of the day, like, their actual stuff is nice. So Microsoft revealed in February that Xbox Game Pass has now grown to 34 million subscribers, including the Xbox Game Pass Core members. So basically moving all the Xbox Live members to the Game Pass Vive. For previously Xbox exclusive games are now available on the PlayStation, with some launching on Nintendo Switch. So all these games collectively will be going and also driving up revenue. The strategic shift is limited to those games for now, but appears to be in response to a slowing of Xbox Game Pass growth. So basically right now, Xbox Game Pass seems to be tapering off or potentially even losing subscribers, which is fine. It's more of like a cyclical thing. There hasn't been a big game since probably like Starfield. Maybe a bigger bump up from, say, Fallout games for this maybe month, but overall that's going to be a hype thing from the show. They're saying we're expanding our games to new platforms, bringing 4 of our fan favorites to Nintendo Switch and Sony PlayStation for the first time, said Microsoft CEO Satya Nadella during an earnings call today. So they did actually have a chance to bring this on up to their earnings calls. In fact, earlier this month, we had 7 games among the top 25 on the PlayStation Store, more than any other publisher, which we actually covered up that news. So it was going to show that they are getting good sales, their software is doing well, and once again, all these Bethesda kind of run-ups, I'm seeing huge sales on 76, 3, 4, revamps and all that. Like, it's been good, and I'm sure it's also driving up Game Pass sales too as well, because I do believe those are all on Game Pass. But once again, the hardware is not doing good. Despite some early successes for Xbox games on rival platforms, Xbox hardware is down by a massive 31%, which is insane for the Xbox console. A big drop following a soft quarter for Xbox sales during the all-important holiday season last year. Microsoft admits the obvious in its earnings filing that the big drop was driven by lower volume of consoles sold, so less people are buying Xbox consoles. I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's the same thing with PlayStation. People enjoyed the hype cycle. Now they're easy to get. And as of this point, like, the consoles are slowly tapering off into irrelevance in terms of specs. So that's why we need to have that refresher for like a Pro, or at least do something different. As well as also a lot more people coming to PC. That just means that a lot more things are just not needing for consoles. But it's kind of a 31% is a huge decline. Like, that's really, really bad. And this is why people keep on thinking the longevity of Xbox consoles is very much up in the air. We've talked about this a little bit on the channel itself, but this is like very close to the ledge as is. Now, once again, I do think there will be future Xboxes, but it does kind of seem like they're going to keep on pushing and prioritizing PC. Overall gaming revenue is up 51% though, which is still good. So it's like Xbox console down, Xbox gaming up. So bolstering by the additional Activision Blizzard revenue, which contributed 55 points of net impact. That means without Activision Blizzard, Microsoft's overall gaming revenue would have actually declined this quarter. And that's huge. Like, I mean, they own Activision, so we do have to factor that on in, but we also do have this big separation. And right now, what they would have had is horrible. Like, that, they're losing money right now, probably Game Pass subscribers and also overall sales, even with them porting games to PlayStation and Nintendo and also these big bump ups. Now, once again, it doesn't mean they can't go and bounce back. Most of these games have been kind of more on the chill side, even on the PlayStation side. But I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good call they got Activision though at the end of the day. So the newly acquired division recorded about $2 billion of revenue during quarter 3, but the cost of integration, transaction costs, and other costs of revenue all cost $980 million. So it's a lot of money. With other operating expenses, $1.34 billion, it calculates to an overall operating loss of $350 million for Activision Blizzard. Although a lot of these like integration and transaction costs and lawyer fees and all that will probably drop down, so it's probably more of a temporary cost. But it is like Xbox right now is losing a lot of money. Like, even look at this number, like they're losing money. Like, I mean, it's still profitable, I guess, to an extent, but it's not looking good. So I'm sure long term it'll be better. Xbox content services would have been only up a single % without Activision Blizzard, and this also factoring Game Pass. So it's clear that this giant purchase is already having a big impact on Microsoft's overall gaming revenues. It looks like next quarter's be also a similar story too as well. So this is big news, and I want to hear your thoughts on this one, because they're also expecting Xbox hardware revenues to keep going down again next quarter, and also overall gaming revenue to also kind of stop growing as much as well, although they are still having a big impact from Activision. So intriguing to go and see this too. Basically also saying the Microsoft Cloud revenue was up $35.1 billion, 23% on top of it, and as well Microsoft and like Azure and all this are also doing very well, or 31% year over year for other cloud services. So it looks like Microsoft as a whole is doing phenomenal, as evident by the stock price, but Xbox is still in its weird growing stages, although if it is transitioning over to Activision cloud gaming and all of that, it does seem like it's going very well. So I want to hear your thoughts on everything down below. I appreciate y'all for watching. Let's go, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, maybe for more videos, maybe a mini one tonight.